Shalom, shalom, Israel. First, giving all praises to the Most High Yah and His Son Yahushua. Today's class, the idolatry of the northern kingdom runs deep. So we got a lot of people, man, that's really not patient with our brothers, man. We have to be patient with them because that lifestyle that they was living come from way back in the Book of Kings. And in the Book of the Kings, actually lets you know how deep-rooted idolatry is in the northern kingdom. Let's start with Romans 15:4.
The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
So all the things that were written in our heritage book before time, read.
Were written for our learning.
Were written for what?
Were written for our learning.
Were written for our learning, our instruction. Read on.
That we through patience.
Through what?
Through patience.
Read.
And comfort of the scriptures.
Of the what?
Of the scriptures.
Of God's oracles. Read.
Might have hope.
This is our hope, Israel. It's our hope to come back and know how to live our lives and be guided by the Most High and His Son to do what's righteous in His eyes. Let's get Baruch 4:1 right quick. Go ahead, Al.
The book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1.
Read.
This is the book of the commandments of God. And the law that endureth forever.
How long?
Forever.
Read.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
That's one of our choices, Israel. Read on.
But such as leave it shall die.
And that's the other choice. You either go choose life or death. So you either go choose God's word or you going to choose your own vain opinion and the wisdom of this world. And that's death. Read on, Al.
Turn thee, O Jacob.
This Bible says, turn thee, O Jacob, O 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
And take heed of it.
And take what?
And take heed of it.
Read it again.
Turn thee, O Jacob, and take heed of it.
Take hold of it.
Walk in the presence of the light thereof.
He said, walk in the presence of the light thereof. So you 12 tribes, y'all take hold of these laws, statutes, and commandments and walk in the presence of the light. Read.
That thou mayest be illuminated.
That you may shine. That the world may see the glory that is upon God's people for keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments. Give me Sirach 21:11. Go ahead, Al.
The book of Sirach, chapter 21, verse 11.
Read.
He that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof.
Does what?
Getteth the understanding thereof.
So if you keep the laws of the Lord, you will get the understanding of the scriptures. Read.
And the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom.
Is what?
Is wisdom.
So you got to fear God in order to be accepted and be obedient unto His word, to keep His commandments. Then you get the understanding of the scripture. So it has to start somewhere. But let me show you something. Give me Proverbs 21:16. Go ahead when you get there, Al.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 16.
Read.
The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding.
The man that wandereth out of the way of keeping God's laws, of learning God's laws, of applying God's laws to his life. Read.
Shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
You're going to remain out here in this world walking amongst the walking dead. Those that what? Have no guidance, have no leaders, have no scriptures to keep them rooted, have no way of walking in the fine lines of the Most High God. They don't have anything out there but the wisdom of this world. And they walking dead right now. And we trying to speak life into our people. Now let's go to 2 Kings 15:27 right quick. It is a deep-rooted thing, man, in the northern kingdom. So for you brothers out there that don't have the faith that, oh, the northern kingdom ain't going, man, they ain't going. Man, you got to be patient with our brothers, man. Just like the Most High was patient with you when he woke you up, because you was in all kind of wickedness also.
That's right.
Let's get it out.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 15, verse 27.
Read.
In the 52nd year of Azariah, king of Judah, Pekah, the son of Remaliah, began to reign over Israel in Samaria.
So Pekah was the 18th king in Israel. Read on.
And reigned 20 years.
And reigned how long?
20 years.
And he reigned for 20 years. Read.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord.
Now I'm going to show you something. Each and every time our people do something wicked in the sight of the Lord, we pay for it. But nobody pays attention to that. All they think about is the dollar blessing. Oh, I ate last night. That's a blessing. Oh, I woke up this morning. That's a blessing. They don't think about how evil they be being to the Most High God and how we being punished by being on the bottom in every city and every state, by being living in the city with all the drugs, all the dope, all the alcohol is in our neighborhoods. They don't understand that we're on the bottom. All they see is I ate, I'm blessed. The financial gain. Read on.
He departed not from the sins of Jeroboam.
Of who?
Of Jeroboam.
Now Jeroboam is the son of the back. And he was from the tribe of Ephraim. But Pekah did not depart from the sins of Jeroboam. Read on.
The son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin.
Who made Israel to what?
Who made Israel to sin.
Now, let's go back and see what was going on with Jeroboam. Let's get 1 Kings 12 and 25. Let's see what's going on with Mr. Jeroboam.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 12, verse 25. Then Jeroboam built Shechem.
Which modern day is Nablus. Read on.
And Mount Ephraim. And dwelt therein.
Read.
And went out from thence and built Penuel.
Which they call Peniel right now. Read on.
And Jeroboam said in his heart.
Said in his mind. Read.
Now shall the kingdom return to the house of David.
Now shall the kingdom do what?
Return to the house of David.
So in his mind, he felt like the kingdom was going to return to the house of David. So he felt like he was going to lose his authority of being king. Read.
If this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem.
And where?
At Jerusalem.
Because understand something. The house of David, they dwelt in Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing. He felt like if they went up there and sacrificed and had, in other words, had holy convocation up there in Jerusalem, that they would stay up there with King Jeroboam, with King Rehoboam. Read on.
Then shall the heart of this people turn again unto their Lord, even unto Rehoboam,
Read.
king of Judah.
So if they did what was righteous in the Lord's eyes, their mind would turn up unto the Lord. But Jeroboam, not willing to lose his status, because that's what it's all about, him being king, him being ruler of the people, not willing to do that. Let's see what Jeroboam did. Read.
And they shall kill me and go again, Rehoboam, king of Judah. Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold.
And did what?
And made 2 calves of gold.
These are the sins of Jeroboam. He made graven images. He went against and standing images. He went against the laws of the Most High God. See, that's the problem with our people. In order not to lose their status, they'll rather keep being a sinner and lead people astray, just like your Sunday worship pastors. Read on.
And said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem.
So what he's doing is what? He's speaking kind words unto the people now. Read.
Behold thy gods, O Israel.
Behold what?
Behold thy gods, O Israel.
Read.
Which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Same thing that happened in Mount Sinai. The same thing that happened with Moses. So he didn't want them to turn their minds unto the Lord again. So guess what? He built them up gods. And he said, these gods are the one who saved y'all from Egypt. Worship them. Read on.
And he set the one in Bethel, and the other put he in Dan. And this thing became a sin. For the people went to worship.
For the people did what?
For the people went to worship.
Read.
Before the one, even unto Dan.
So it became a sin because they went to bow down unto these standing images. Read.
And he made an house of hewn places, and made priests of the lords of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi.
So he made priests of the lords of the people, but they were not of the sons of Levi. So guess what? They had no business being priests. Now let's get Leviticus 26:1, because it was already prophesied that we're not supposed to be worshiping, bowing down to any images. Let me get that with you out. That's what's wrong. Our people love worshiping the devil, man, because the devil tell them you can do what you want to do, and everything will be all right. And you gonna walk into the kingdom of homosexual, and you gonna walk into the kingdom of lesbian. Read on out.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 1.
Read.
Ye shall make you no idols.
No what?
No idols.
But that's what he did. He reared up idols. Read.
Nor graven image.
Nor what?
Nor graven image.
Read.
Neither rear you up a standing image.
A what?
A standing image.
Neither rear you up a standing image. What is a golden calf? A standing image. Read.
Neither shall ye set up any image of stone.
Any image of what?
Any image of stone.
Read.
In your land.
To
bow down unto it.
To do what?
To bow down unto it.
Bow down unto it just means to worship it. Read.
For I am the Lord your God.
For he is the Lord our God. These things they knew they were not supposed to do. But following their wicked leader, because that's where this wickedness comes from. When you have a brother of your tribe over the tribe, you feel like he's in connection with the Most High. So when you feel like he's in connection with the Most High, you feel like he's taking the righteous steps. Well, God gave us a biblical leader, a book. He gave us this Bible. So if you see that your leaders are out of order with the scriptures, I don't think you're supposed to follow them. That's right. You're supposed to follow the ones that's laboring in this truth, man. That's what you're supposed to do. Then let's go back. Let's give me Exodus 20:3. Let's get it.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3.
Thou
shalt have no other gods.
No other what?
No other gods.
Read.
Before me.
So when they made those graven images, when they made those standing images and bowed down and worshiped to them, those became their gods. Read.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Read.
Or that is in the earth beneath. Or that is in the water under the earth.
So he said, don't make you anything of any likeness. Read on.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
Thou shalt not what?
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
We are not supposed to bow down ourselves to any graven image. So when you in these churches bowing down to these crosses, you bowing down to a graven image. When you worshiping Islam and you bowing down facing Mecca, you bowing down to that black stone. That's a graven image.
That's right.
See, our people don't pay attention to the scriptures. Read.
Nor serve them.
Nor what?
Nor serve them.
You're not supposed to serve them either. You know how you serve them? By following the doctrine that they preach. When you follow the doctrine that they preach, you're serving them. So when you up here doing all these running back and forth between poles, doing your the Muslim rituals, you worship it and you serving their gods. When you up there hooping and hollering in that Christianity church, talking about you got the Holy Ghost speaking in Babel, you worshiping and serving other gods. Read.
For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God.
Am a what?
Am a jealous God.
So when we go off into idolatry, when we go off into worshiping other things, God deals with us. Read.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, until the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
That what?
That hate me.
Because when you provide yourself to do the things that's dealing with these other pagan religions, guess what? You hate God. You hate your God when you in that Christian church on Sunday. You hate your God when you out here worshiping the moon rock. You hate your God when you off into Buddhism. These are the things that our people not understanding. We're trying to bring you back to life. But some of our people are cool being in their wickedness, man. That's the way some of our people are. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 17. Let's get it up.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 1. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hosea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord.
Do y'all see how things are happening? These kings, they came into something. God made them king over the people. And then they did something wicked in the sight of the Lord. Let's see what happened. Read.
But not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria.
King of who?
King of Assyria.
Read.
And Hosea became his servant and gave him presents.
Read.
And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hosea, for he had sent messengers to So king of Egypt. And brought no present to the king of Assyria.
So he felt like Hosea was doing something shiesty. Let me put it in your language. Because he was giving presents and sending messages unto the king of Egypt and brought no present unto the king of Assyria. So he felt like Hosea was shiesty. Let's see what he did to him. Read.
As he had done year by year. Therefore, the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison.
So, since he did something evil in the sight of the Lord allowed the king of Assyria to shut him up and bound him in prison. Read on.
Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria.
And did what?
And went up to Samaria.
The northern kingdom. Read.
And besieged it.
And besieged it, which means he held it hostage. Read.
3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away in Assyria.
This was about 722 BC. Read.
And placed them in Halah and the harbor by the river of Gazan.
Read.
And in the cities of the Medes. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt.
Read.
From under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods.
That's what happened with our people. They was fearing all the gods of Pharaoh and not fearing the Most High God. They was steady getting caught up in their wickedness, still following the sins of Jeroboam and not following God. So when God found somebody that he felt was righteous, he set them up as king. But when they did something wicked, he shut them down. Now this is a going on thing with the northern kingdom. This thing right here never stopped with them. Read on.
And walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel.
They walked in the statutes of the heathen. They was doing what the king of Assyria and the king of Egypt had them doing. They was worshiping their gods and not the Most High. Read.
And of the kings of Israel, which they had made.
Which they had what?
Which they had made.
Your graven images, your standing images, the kings of Israel, which they had made. Read on.
And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right.
Did secretly what?
Those things that were not right.
Worshiping other gods, bowing down to other gods, dealing with what? They was dealing with all these things, these pagan worship deities. That's what was going on with them. And this they kept doing over time. Read on.
Against the Lord their God. And they built them high places.
And they built them high places to worship. Read.
In all their cities. From the tower of the watchman to the fenced city.
Let's go. Now understand something. He said they did this secretly. So they was actually trying to hide from the Most High while they was doing these things. Let's get Jeremiah 23 and 24 right quick. Let's get it out.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 24.
Read.
Can any hide himself in secret places?
Can any hide themselves in secret places? Read.
That I shall not see him?
That the Most High cannot see him? Read.
Saith the Lord.
Saith who?
Saith the Lord.
Read.
Do not I fill heaven and earth?
Do not he fill heaven and earth? Did not he create all things? Read.
Saith the Lord.
Saith the Lord. No, this is the thing we got to understand. Ain't no way we can hide nothing that we do. We can't hide nothing that we think from the Most High. So the things that we do, they out in the open to him. He sees all, hears all, and does all. That's where our people was wrong. So they was really trying to secretly do this without the Most High seeing them. Now let's go to 2 Kings 17 and 9. We'll start at 10. We got to understand something. When we out here teaching the Northern Kingdom, when we out here teaching them to come back to their God, we have to be patient with them because they have been dwelling in idolatry their whole life. So as we be patient with them, understand something. We know that the Spirit bears witness with their spirit. So if their spirit don't bear witness with the scriptures, we understand that they probably not from our lineage. That's right. But if their spirit bears witness with the Spirit of God, that they are the children of God, then those are brothers from another mother. That's right. Read on.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse 10.
Read.
And they set them up images and groves in every high hill, under every green tree.
Read.
And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Lord carried away before them.
As did who?
As the heathen whom the Lord carried away before them.
Even those heathen that were in the land doing these things, the Lord carried them away for their wickedness. And our people came right back into the land and did the same thing that they did. This is where our people are lost, man, because they keep trying to do what? Follow the ways of the wicked. Read on.
And wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger. For they served idols.
For they did what?
For they served idols.
That was the most wickedest thing that the Northern Kingdom could have done, was serve other gods. Read.
Whereof the Lord had said unto them, ye shall not do this thing.
He told them specifically. And let's go back. Give me Leviticus 26 and 1 again. Let's see what the Lord said again. Because I want you to hear it again. He told them specifically. Read that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 1.
Read.
Ye shall make you no idols nor graven image.
He said, ye shall not make you no idols or any graven images, man. Read.
Neither rear you up a standing image.
Neither rear you up a standing image, a golden calf. Read.
Neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land.
To
bow down unto it.
To do what?
To bow down unto it.
To worship these other gods and idols and deities. Read.
For I am the Lord your God.
For he is the Lord our God. See, the creator of heaven and earth, he's the Lord of the 12 tribes of Israel and none else. So when we step outside of worshiping him, we really cursing him to his face. That's right. That's exactly what we're doing, man. Now let's go to Hosea 7 and 8 right quick. So not only was the Northern Kingdom dealing with this, we have to understand that this is another sin that the Northern Kingdom dealt with. Go ahead, Doc.
The book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people.
He have what?
He hath mixed himself among the people.
Read.
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
So understand something. He said he's a cake not turned. One side is darker than the other side is lighter. Now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to make a good example. I actually got this example from one of my brothers. If a father from the tribe of Ephraim marry a white woman, they have another son. That son marry a white woman. They have another son. That son marry a white woman. that's going to make the skin complexion of our people to become lighter and lighter and lighter. But does that change the seed? No, it does not change the seed. That son is still from the tribe of Ephraim.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? So as we go out here and we try to recollect and try to make it seem like everybody's from Negro descent, we know that. But the spirit has to bear witness with that spirit. See, you can't change God's word. We gotta let the spirit of God do the talking. That's what we gotta do. We can't go out there and be judging people by what we see. We gotta let this Bible cut them. Now we know an Edomite when we see an Edomite. But I'm talking about the people that's of our lineage, of our family. Now, let's get Deuteronomy 7:3. Go ahead,
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
He just said Ephraim has mixed himself with the people. So understand something. He said we're not supposed to make marriages with them. That's a sin that's happened amongst our people, and it's a sin gone wild with our people right now. Read on.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
We're not supposed to give our daughters to these other wicked nations. Read.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
And we're not supposed to do what? Take these other nations' daughters and marry them off with our sons. Read.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
For they will turn away Israel from following the Most High God. A lot of our brothers that's with these so-called Edomites, guess what? They in Sunday worship church, worshiping white Jesus. Some of them are atheists. Some of them don't even believe in the Most High. But these are our brothers that's trapped in the mind. Just because we want to deal with these other nations. Go ahead, Al.
That they may serve other gods.
That they may what?
That they may serve other gods.
Allah.
Other gods.
Jesus Christ, the white Caesar Borgia.
Other gods.
Buddha.
Other gods.
That they may serve other gods, man. That's what happens with our people. They get tied up with these outside heathen nations and do what? Worship and do what they do. Read on.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you. And destroy thee suddenly.
And do what?
And destroy thee suddenly.
So we're going to break it down. We're going to see this destruction in just a minute. Let's go back to Hosea 7 and 9. Understand, we cannot be dealing with idolatry. But we have to be patient with our brothers because that's all they know. Read on.
The book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 9. Strangers have devoured his strength.
What?
Strangers have devoured his strength.
Strangers have devoured his strength. Strangers have weakened his bloodline. Read.
And he knoweth it not.
And he won't.
And he knoweth it not.
Read.
Yea, gray hairs are here and there upon him.
What? Worry. Gray hairs. Worry is here and there upon him. Read.
Yet he knoweth not.
But yet he knoweth not. He knoweth not. Come back to the Most High, do the Most High's will, and get yourself together. Because remember, just like we were stripped from our heritage, so was the Northern Kingdom.
That's right.
Read on.
And the pride of Israel.
And the what?
And the pride of Israel.
And the pride of Israel. Read.
Testifieth to his face.
And the pride of Israel testified to his face. Understand, let's go back and let's get that pride right quick. Let's get Sirach 10 and 12. Let's see what happened to the Northern Kingdom in their pride. Go ahead, Art.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 12.
Read.
The beginning of pride.
The what?
The beginning of pride.
Read.
Is when one departed from God.
So understand, and the pride of Israel testified to his face. He had departed from the Most High God. Read.
And his heart is turned away from his maker.
And his what? And his mind is turned away from his maker. Read.
For pride is the beginning of sin.
For pride is the beginning of sin. Read.
And he that hath it shall pour out abomination.
Shall what?
Shall pour out abomination.
Dealing with mixing themselves with the other nations. Read it again.
shall pour out abomination.
Practice idolatry and bowing down to other gods. See what I'm saying? We got to hear these scriptures talking. Read on.
And therefore the Lord brought unto them strange calamities.
Strange what?
Strange calamities.
He brought upon them strange calamities. He destroyed them. They are mentally destroyed. They are physically destroyed. They are spiritually destroyed, man. Read on.
And overthrew them utterly.
And did what?
And overthrew them utterly.
And overthrew them utterly. By taking them and doing what? They went into captivity, man. That's what happened to them. Let's get Hosea 7 and 11.
The book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 11.
Read.
Ephraim also is like a silly dove.
A what?
A silly dove.
Read.
Without a heart.
Without a brain. They like a silly bird without a brain. What's that? That bird can fall to the ground because without a brain, he can't fly.
That's right.
That bird will starve because without a brain, he won't feed himself. They not feeding themselves with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High God. They feeding themselves with other gods, the ways of this world, other idols. They dealing with everything but they God. Read.
They call to Egypt. They go to Assyria.
They call to Egypt. They call to bondage. They call to slavery. And they go to Assyria. And they serving them. Read.
When they shall go, I will spread my net upon them.
He said, when they shall go, I shall spread my net upon. What does a net do? It captures you. Read.
I will bring them down as the fowls of the heaven.
Uh-huh.
I will chastise them.
I will what?
I will chastise them.
Now, I'm going to show you something. This how the Most High be dealing with us like he's supposed to deal with us, man. He said, I will chastise them. Read.
As chastise them as their congregation hath heard.
He said he going to chastise them as his congregation has heard. Now, we know one thing. Whom he loveth, he chasteneth. So he loves us as the 12 tribes of Israel, so he's chastising them.
That's right.
Read on.
Woe unto them.
Do what?
Woe unto them.
Destruction unto them. Read.
For they have fled from me.
For they have left my law, statutes, and commandments. Read.
Destruction unto them.
He said destruction unto them. Read.
Because they have transgressed against me.
Because they have transgressed, they have violated his laws. Read.
Though I have redeemed them.
Though he has redeemed them. Though he brought us out of bondage. Though he brought us out of captivity. Read.
Yet they have spoken lies against me.
Yet they have spoken lies against him. How do they speak lies against him? By worshiping other gods. By walking in the ways of everything else but they God.
That's right.
Read.
And they have not cried unto me.
And they have not what?
Cried unto me.
They haven't opened their mouth unto the Lord. Read.
With their heart.
With their what?
With their heart.
With their whole mind, man. Read.
When they howled upon their beds.
When they what?
When they howled upon their beds. They assembled themselves for corn and wine.
They assembled themselves for food and laughter and lies. Read.
And they rebelled against me.
And they rebelled against the Most High God. We got to understand what this Bible is saying to us, man. It's trying to bring you back into the fold of how to do these things. Let's get some understanding on that. Give me Job 35 and 9. Let's get it out. Read it when you get there.
The book of Job, chapter 35, verse 9.
Read.
By reason of the multitude of oppressions, they make the oppressed to cry.
They make the oppressed to cry, because when you're under oppression, you start to cry out. Read.
They cry out by reason of the arm of the mighty.
They cry out by reason of the arm of the mighty. Those that are in rulership at the time. Read.
But none saith.
But none what?
But none saith.
Read.
Where is God my maker?
None crieth out to God for help. None crieth out to him and asked him to come and give us what we need. You know why? Because they don't want to serve his law, statutes, and commandments. They don't want to do what thus says the Lord in their life and in their walk. Read on.
Who giveth songs in the night?
Who does what?
Who giveth songs in the night?
What does he give? He makes us merry in the night. You got to understand something. Because when we call upon God and we do his will, we do great. we are fine. We are okay. But when we don't, we in bondage. We in slavery. We in servitude to all the rest of the other nations, man. Now give me Leviticus 26 and 14. Go ahead,
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 14.
Read.
But if ye will not hearken unto me,
he said, but if you won't listen to me, read.
And will not do all these commandments.
And will not do all my commandments, read.
And if ye shall despise my statutes.
And if ye shall despise, and if ye shall hate my laws, read.
Or if your soul abhor my judgments.
And your soul hate the judgments for breaking his laws, read.
So that ye will not do all my commandments. But that ye break my covenant.
But you break the agreement that God made with the 12 tribes. Read.
I also will do this unto you.
Read.
I will even appoint over you terror.
Over you what?
Terror.
That's where we come into these, while we living in other nations and worshiping other gods and serving other people, serving these other nations. That's the terror that's on us. The so-called white man is the terrorist of the world.
That's right.
Nobody's paid attention to that. Read on.
Consumption.
What?
Consumption.
Read.
And the burning age.
The burning of you.
The burning of use. That shall consume the eyes.
That shall what?
That shall consume the eyes.
Read.
And cause sorrow of heart.
And cause worry of mind. That consumption is wasted away disease. Read.
And ye shall sow your seed in vain.
And we gonna do what?
And ye shall sow your seed in vain.
Because when you go out there to plant that seed for you to eat, guess what? You sow it in vain, because he won't send no water up on the earth to make it grow, because you're being wicked and don't want to keep his laws. Read.
For your enemies shall eat it.
For your enemies shall what?
Shall eat it.
Guess what happened when you plant those vineyards? Guess what happened when you planted your crops and stuff? The wicked came and took it from you because you didn't want to keep these laws. Read on.
And I will set my face against you. And ye shall be slain before your enemies.
And you will be killed before your enemies, man. Read.
They that hate you.
They that what?
They that hate you.
Read.
Shall reign over you.
That's who's reigning over us right now. The so-called white man hate us, man. He hate the northern kingdom, man. They came against us strong, man. Beat our men, beat our women, raped our children, raped our men, beat the skin off our back, hung our wives, hung our children. Read.
And ye shall flee when none pursueth.
And you shall flee when nobody's pursuing you, man. Read.
And if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me.
And if ye will not yet for all the things I've put you through hearken unto me. Read.
Then I will punish you 7 times more for your sin.
How many times more?
7 times more for your sin.
Now I'm going to show you something. The northern kingdom had got it together at one point. They got it together. They had a good thought, man. I'm going to show you something. Give me 2nd Esdras 13 and 40. For a minute, they came together with one consent. Came together to serve God. Let's get it out.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40.
Read.
Those are the 10 tribes.
Those are the who?
The 10 tribes.
Read.
Which were carried away prisoners out of their own land. In the time of Osea the king.
Read.
Whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
Because we just read that in 2 Kings 17. That they came and took Israel captive. Read.
And he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land.
So came they into another land, the land of Assyria. Read.
But they took this counsel among themselves.
But they got together and they took counsel among themselves. For a minute, they was thinking to do the right thing. Read.
That they will leave the multitude of the heathen.
That they was going to leave Assyria. Read.
And go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Where never what?
Mankind dwelt.
See, we got to keep that in mind. It said where never mankind dwelt. Read.
That they might that they might there keep their statutes.
Keep their what?
Their statutes.
Keep their laws. Read.
Which they never kept in their own land.
Which they never kept in their own land. That's why they kept going into captivity after captivity after captivity. Because they didn't want to do what thus says the Lord. They had a wicked king leading them what? Not to do what thus says the Lord. So they cried out at this point. Let's see what they did, man. Give me Psalms 107 and 17 right quick. We're going to go and we're going to see what they did. 107 and 17. Let's get it out.
The book of Psalms, chapter 107, verse 17. Fat fools, because of their transgression and because of their iniquities, are afflicted.
So he said fools because of their violations but breaking God's laws, and because of their sins, they are afflicted. That's why the northern kingdom stay afflicted, even all the way up now to today. Read.
Their soul abhorreth all manner of meat.
They hated God's laws. Read.
And they draw near unto the gates of death.
And they do what happens when you hate God's laws? You remain in the congregation of the dead.
That's right.
Read on.
Then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble.
Now they crying out to the Lord in their trouble. This is what they did when they was talking about going to another land where no man never dwelt. Read.
He saveth them out of their distresses.
He saved them out of their distress, and we're going to see how. Read.
He sent his word.
He did what?
He sent his word.
If you would just keep my laws, statutes, and commandments, read.
And healed them.
And what?
And healed them.
Then you will be healed. Read.
And delivered them from their destruction.
And delivered them out of their destruction. Delivered them from the woe.
That's right.
Let's go back. Second Esdras. We add 13 and 43.
The book of Second Esdras, chapter 13, verse 43.
Read.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
By the narrow passages of the river. Read on.
For the Most High then shewed signs for them.
Did what?
Did shew signs for them.
Since they came up with that agreement and said, we're going to do what the Most High say do, when we get over to this land, we're going to keep our laws like we never did anywhere else. He said signs for them, man. Read.
And held still the flood.
And did what?
And held still the flood.
Because in the little boats they was in, they would have drowned out there in them little boats out there trying to get over to America. So guess what Most High did for them? He held still the flood because they made an agreement to do what he say do. Read.
Till they were passed over.
Till they were what?
Passed over.
Until they passed over the currents in the ocean. Read on.
For through that country there was a great way to go. Namely, of a year and a half.
Of how long?
Of a year and a half.
So it took a year and a half to get to that country. Read.
And the same region is called Asareth.
It's called what?
Asareth.
It's called Asareth. Think about that. Which they now call America. So when he said no man ever dwelt here, no man ever dwelt here. Because guess who was here first? The Native Americans, the 10 tribes.
That's right.
That's who was here first. That Aboriginal, that just means the first to occupy the land. They was the first to occupy this land here. So this land actually was given to the Native Americans, to the 10 tribes as a blessing, man. For them saying they going to do what God say do. Now, where we at?
46.
46. Read.
Then dwelt they there unto the latter time. And now when they shall begin to come.
He said then they dwelt there to the latter time. To the later time. But I'm going to show you something, man. Our people, when they got there, they did the same thing. This is our Northern Kingdom brothers, man. These are our brothers, our brothers from the 10 tribes. Let me show you something. Let's get that letter out.
Ghost dance.
What?
Ghost dance.
The ghost dance. This is a dance that the Native Americans did. Read.
The ghost dance was a new religious movement which was incorporated into numerous Native American belief systems. According to the prophet Jack Wilson.
Who?
Jack Wilson.
This man called himself a prophet. Called himself Jack Wilson. I'm going to show you something. Read that right there.
Jack Wilson, wicked religious leader who found the second episode of the Ghost Dance.
Because this right here is another spiritual leader for our Native American brothers who called himself a prophet. But what did he do? He taught them a dance. Read on out on that letter where you was at.
And to numerous Native American belief systems, according to the prophet Jack Wilson's teaching, proper practice of the dance would reunite the living with the spirits of the dead.
Would do what?
Will reunite the living with the spirits of the dead.
So they understand what they was doing. They was trying to bring back and conversate with the dead. They was worshiping the dead. Who else was worshiping the dead? The Egyptians. When they shaved their head and shaved their beards off, they did it to worship the dead. That's why the Most High told us not to shave and let a razor touch our heads or shave off our beards, because it was a wicked custom of the Egyptians. And we don't defile our temples around here. But they did the same thing again. Read on.
And bring peace, prosperity, and unity to native peoples throughout the region.
Now I'm going to show you something. Before you finish reading that, give me that video out. That first video. So this right here was a part of idolatry. It was a part of bowing down, calling upon wicked spirits. I'm going to show you something. Title side, the Ghost Dance. Check it out. Look at their children. They got their children out here doing this dance too. Not only this ritual right here was a dance for them to deal with dead spirits, also them smoking the tobacco that was grown out in the garden as a pesticide. They were smoking that tobacco. That was a spiritual thing for them too, to worship other spirits, to worship the dead. The same thing.
That's right.
So they went right back off into idolatry, man. That lets you know that our people are wicked. Read on.
The basis for the ghost dance, the circle dance, is a traditional ritual which has been used by many Native Americans since prehistoric times.
So it's been passed throughout the tribes as they started to do that when they got over here. It's been passed through all 10 tribes. Read.
But this new form was first practiced amongst the Nevada Paiute in 1889. The practice swept throughout much of the western United States, quickly reaching areas of California and Oklahoma. As the ghost dance spread from its original source, Native American tribes synthesized selective aspects of the ritual with their own beliefs. This process often created change in both the society that integrated it and in the ritual itself. The chief figure in the movement was the prophet of peace, Jack Wilson, known as Wavaka among the Paiute. He prophesied
and Wavaka just means woodcutter or cutter. Read.
He prophesied a peaceful end to white expansion.
Hold that right there. He prophesied a peaceful end to white expansion. A peaceful end. That means he prophesied the same thing Martin Luther King prophesied. That if we hold hands and one day we'll get along and one day we'll walk hand in hand, the same prophecy that Martin Luther King did, he did the same thing. But give me 1 Thessalonians 5:3 right quick.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 3.
Read.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Sudden destruction. Why? Because guess where we at now? We living on the bottom in every city and every state. We in servitude to our enemies. Everything that we need, water, food, we got to go to our enemies. If we need electricity, we got to go to our enemies. If we need a place to stay, we got to go to our enemies. We need a car. to our enemies. Education to our enemies. That's what happened, man. That's that sudden destruction. Read.
As travail upon a woman with child. And they shall not escape.
And we shall not escape this until we come back as a family, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments until we out of here. That's the only way it's going to happen. Drop that. Give me Deuteronomy 18 and 9 right quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 9. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
They had just came into to Archibald, to America, which God had given them, showed signs for them, stopped the floods for them. Read.
Thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations.
You shall not learn to do after the abomination of those nations. On their hand, though, wasn't nobody even there. So all they had to take over there was what? God's law, statutes, and commandments, keep and do them. Read.
There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire.
Did you just see their children doing the same wicked dance with them? That's how that dance gets passed on and on through the centuries and through generations. Because you're teaching your children to do what? Worship the dead. Read.
Or that uses divination, or an observer of time,
read,
or an enchanter.
They out there chanting, man. Read.
Or a witch.
Or a what?
Or a witch.
That's what this brother, Prophet Jack Wilson was. He was a witch because he was teaching them ways for them to do what? To worship the dead, to call upon spirits. Read.
Or a charmer. Or a consulter with familiar spirits.
All he was a medium, man. Read.
Or a wizard. Or a necromancer.
See what I mean? Read.
For all that do these things are an abomination.
So they became an abomination. They were literally dead in sin at that point. Read.
Unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doeth drive them out from before thee.
See, understand, because of those abominations, God was moving them out of the way for our people. And our people did what? Came over here to a smooth, clean land and did the same thing again. Now, that's the cold part about it. Play that next video for me, y'all. Let me show you something else. Go back to Leviticus 26 and 1. Matter of fact, give me Deuteronomy 28:36. These are totem poles. This right here is a standing image. This is something that was created by who? The 10 tribes. They brought this stuff over here and they began to do what? Dance around it. Calling up on spirits. This wasn't nothing but another pagan god that they was worshiping. See that? And that totem pole had an Egyptian symbol on it. Did you see that? So they just brought the same gods that they had over there with them over to the new land. That makes no sense. But let me show you something. Matter of fact, hold that. Give me Leviticus 26 and 1 again. Because, this just don't make no sense. Let me show you something.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven image.
That wood, that totem pole, that is a graven image. They graved face. They carved faces on that wood. They carved bird on that wood. Did he not say, don't make you anything that flies in the heavens above or that swim in the sea below? They carved fish in that wood. He said, don't do these things. Read.
Neither rear you up a standing image.
What is a totem pole? It's a standing image, man. Read.
Neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land.
Read.
To bow down unto it.
Now we're going to dance around this and call upon wicked spirits.
To bow down unto it.
When you doing that, you still worshiping that deity. Read.
For I am the Lord your God.
Let's go to 28:36 right quick. Read that for me.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 36.
Read.
The Lord shall bring thee And thy king which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
See, didn't he do that with Hoshea? The king that was over them took them into what? A land to Assyria? Read.
And there shalt thou serve other gods.
And there shalt thou serve other gods. Read.
Wood and stone.
What?
Wood and stone.
The same thing happened when they brought us over here. The same thing that's about to happen to the northern kingdom when I finish with this class. Understand something. This Bible speaks in the multitude. This is the truth. You just have to be taught how to understand. The book of Deuteronomy 28:47.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 47.
Read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness.
With what?
With joyfulness.
Read.
And with gladness of heart.
Because we should have served him knowing that we are the chosen people. We should have served him knowing that we are the priest and the royal priesthood that he called us to be. That we was going to be running this nation with a rod of iron. But you know why we couldn't do it? Because we was rebellious, just as rebellious as these other nations.
That's right.
Read on.
For the abundance of all things.
For the what?
For the abundance of all things.
Because if we would have served him righteously, joyfulness, and gladness, we would have had the abundance of everything. Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Therefore we went into servitude to our enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Which God sent against us because we was a rebellious nation. Read.
In hunger.
In what?
In hunger.
So we had to go get our food from them. Read.
And in thirst.
So we had to go get our water from them. Read.
And in nakedness.
And what?
And in nakedness.
So they was the provider of our clothes. Read.
And in want of all things.
And so everything we need now, we got to go to our enemy when God had already given it to us for free. Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron.
A what?
A yoke of iron.
Read.
Upon thy neck. Until he have destroyed thee.
That yoke of iron is working into our knees and our feet and our back hurt. That yoke of iron is on our shoulders, man, doing the wicked ways of this world, trying to make it, not knowing who we are. It's a yoke of iron upon our people. The northern kingdom is dealing with these things. So when you go out here and you preaching against the northern kingdom, you just talking about our brothers, man.
That's right.
We got to bring them back so we can get out of here. Read.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
From what?
From far.
Read.
From the end of the earth. As swift as the eagle flieth.
Who does the eagle represent? Great Britain? America? Rome? Who does the eagle represent? All these places that we've been served. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Because we couldn't understand what they were saying because we spoke Hebrew. Read.
A nation of fierce continent.
They wasn't scared. They wasn't a scary nation. Read.
Which shall not regard the person of the old.
Which don't care about your kings and your elders. Read.
Nor shew favor to the young.
Or didn't care about our youngsters because they had us where? They had our children in them cotton fields, in them caves, picking for gold. They had our children doing the same work we was doing. Read.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle. And the fruit of thy land.
Read.
Until thou be destroyed.
Until what?
Until thou be destroyed.
Read.
Which also shall not leave there either corn, wine, or oil. Or the increase of thy kind.
Read.
Or flocks of thy sheep.
Read.
Until he have destroyed thee.
So they're going to take everything from us. Destroy us mentally, physically, and spiritually. Read.
And he shall besiege thee.
And he shall what?
And he shall besiege thee.
Besiege just means force a place to surrender. They forced us to surrender unto them. The northern kingdom, y'all went, this is y'all I'm talking about. Right. They forced y'all, man. Read.
And all thy gates.
And what?
And all thy gates.
Read.
Until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trottest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, throughout all thy land which the Lord thy God hath given thee.
Now let's go into that. Let's see how they done this, man. Let's go to Job 24:1. Let's get it out.
The book of Job, chapter 24, verse 1.
Read.
Why? Seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty. Do they that know him not see his days?
Do they that know him not see his days? They know him, but they won't do what he say. Read on.
Some remove the landmark.
That's how they besieged them. That's what they did to the people. He said they removed their landmarks. The 10 tribes that came over to North America, South America, set up their own lands. But guess what? Them Spaniards came over here and kicked down their landmarks. Read.
They violently take away flocks.
They violently do what?
Take away flocks.
Read.
And feed thereof.
They take away your food and they feed off of it. How do they feed off of it? Because you got to buy it now. Read.
They drive away the ass of the fatherless.
They do what?
They drive away the ass of the fatherless.
Because what? Because they was killing y'all fathers, man. Northern Kingdom, they was killing y'all, taking y'all out. Read.
They take the widow's ox for a pledge.
They do what?
They take the widow's ox for a pledge.
So they took the widow's ox. They took y'all food for a pledge. What was that pledge? Taxes. Mm-hmm. Read on.
They turn the needy out of the way.
They do what?
They turn the needy out of the way.
So you can take that they and turn it into Spaniards. Just put Spaniards right there. Because that's what the Spaniards did to the Northern Kingdom. Read.
The poor of the earth hid themselves together. Behold, as wild asses in the desert,
Read.
Go they forth to their work.
As wild asses in the desert, they go forth to their work. As you see wild asses in the desert, you see them all doing work. You see them all stressed out, going to take care of their business. The same thing you see on the train line up here when you see all us getting up, catching the bus, going to work. Like wild asses going forth to do their work because they got to take care of their families now. They got to provide. They in servitude. Read.
Rising betimes for a prey.
Rising what?
Betimes for a prey.
Read.
The wilderness yielded food for them. And for their children.
And for what?
And for their children.
Read.
They reaped every one his corn in the field.
Read.
And they gathered the vintage of the wicked.
The vintage of who?
The vintage of the wicked.
Everything that they planted and grew, they gathered it for the wicked. Read.
They caused the naked to lodge without clothing. That they have no covering in the cold.
That they have what?
No covering in the cold.
So we got to go to them for our clothing. Ain't that what it said in Deuteronomy 28:48? Read on.
They are wet with the showers of the mountains. And embrace the rock for want of a shelter.
Because they had them working in them caves. Read.
They pluck the fatherless from the breast. And take a pledge of the poor.
And take a what?
And take a pledge of the poor.
Let's jump up to 13 right quick.
Verse 13. They are of those that rebelled against the light.
See, since y'all rebelled against the Most High, read.
They know not the ways thereof.
Read.
Nor abide in the paths thereof.
Read on.
The murderer.
The who?
The murderer.
Christopher Columbus. The who?
The murderer.
The Spaniards. Read.
Rising with the light, killed the poor and needy.
Did what?
Killed the poor and needy.
Read.
And the night is as a thief.
As a what?
And the night is as a thief.
Because they came through, slaughtered y'all, took everything y'all had, walked y'all through the trail of tears. That's a thief in the night for you. Y'all had it going like y'all wanted to, but y'all went off into idolatry, and he came like a thief in the night, took everything y'all had, put y'all in captivity, took y'all women, killed y'all fathers, had your children in them fields working, man. Lamentations 5:1. Let me get there with you. But we want the Northern Kingdom to come on with it.
That's right.
We ready to get out of here, man. We tired of this. Tired of going through the same old struggle. So we out here and we going to teach them until they get it.
That's right.
Read that for me.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 1.
Read.
Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us.
See, this is the Northern Kingdom crying out now. Read.
Consider and behold our reproach.
He said, consider and behold our shame. Read.
Our inheritance.
America, our what?
Our inheritance.
The trees, the water, the land. Read.
Is turned to strangers.
The strangers have came and taken it. Read.
Our houses to aliens.
Our houses to who?
Aliens.
The so-called white man is a what?
Aliens.
Read.
We are orphans and fatherless.
We are what?
Orphans and fatherless.
Because the Most High God wasn't dealing with us no more, so we had no father at this time. Read.
Our mothers are as widows.
Our mothers are widows because they killed our fathers. They killed our biological fathers off. Read.
We have drunken our water for money.
Because they came and they took the water and charged us for it. The same thing is said in the book of Deuteronomy. Read.
Our wood is sold unto us.
Our wood is what?
Sold unto us.
So if I want to build a house, I got to do what?
Sold unto us.
We got to go buy that wood from who? Our enemies, so we can build our houses for everything that we need. We serving our enemies. Read.
Our necks are under persecution.
Our necks are what?
Are under persecution.
Because they hanging us from our necks. Read on.
We labor and have no rest.
We labor and have no rest. They working us day and night. Read.
We have given the hand of the Egyptians.
We have given their hand to the Egyptians. We are in bondage again. Read.
And to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread.
We are in bondage again, and the only way we're going to be satisfied with our food is to work for them and serve them. Read.
Our fathers have sinned.
Our fathers sinned against the Most High. Read.
And are not.
And are what?
And are not.
And are dead. Read.
And we have borne their iniquity.
And we are suffering for their sins right now because they taught us what? The same thing that they've been doing. Right. Read on.
Servants have ruled over us.
Who?
Servants have ruled over us.
Because the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And he's ruling over us right now. Read.
There is none that delivereth us out of their hand.
Ain't nobody trying to deliver us from them, man. So we out here. Israel, we out here. Northern Kingdom, we out here.
That's right.
And we trying to wake y'all up, man, so we can get out this captivity. I understand what type of bondage y'all been through. I understand that y'all been involved with all kind of things. Like right now, most of the Northern Kingdom is in Catholicism. Those same popes and preachers and priests in there is sleeping with y'all babies, man. Molesting y'all children, man. And y'all still there. Give me John 7:38 right quick. Because if you're in Catholicism, guess what you're doing? You worshiping Mary. That's what you're doing. So guess what? You still on the dead end road.
The book of John, chapter 7, verse 38.
Read.
He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
That's Yahushua. He said, he that believeth on me. That is not Mary. That's Yahushua. So you still traveling down the same toe-up road of idolatry.
That's right.
We just want y'all to wake up and come out of what y'all in. And we're going to work with y'all and we're going to teach. And we're going to teach until y'all get up, man, so we can get out of here.
That's right.
On that, we say shalom.
Shalom.